Okay, listen. I know this is gonna sound insane, like something out of a messed up fairy tale, but it happened. I swear to you, everything I'm about to tell you is true. No exaggerations, no dramatics, just what I saw and what we lived through. It started on a Wednesday evening, just a regular, boring weekday. My parents were out of town, some anniversary trip to a mountain resort or something. They left me and my two sisters alone for a couple of nights. I'm the oldest, 21. Mia's 17, and little Zoe just turned 12. We've been home alone plenty of times, so it didn't feel like a big deal. That first night, we made popcorn, binge-watched old horror movies, and stayed up way too late. Honestly, it was fun until it wasn't. Around 2 a.m., we were all still up. Zoe had dozed off on the couch, and Mia and I were arguing about what movie to put on next. That's when we heard it, this weird scraping noise. At first, I thought it was the wind outside brushing a tree branch against a window, but then it came again, slower, longer. Mia muted the TV. We listened. Scrape, scrape, like something dragging metal across concrete. I got up, walked to the hallway window, and peeked out. Nothing. The yard was dark, and the motion light hadn't turned on. Might be from inside the house, Mia whispered. We looked at each other. She was right. The sound came again, louder this time. It was coming from downstairs. I grabbed a flashlight and a kitchen knife. Stupid, I know, and made my way to the basement door. It was cracked open, just barely. We never leave it open. I remember saying, "Who left this open?" And Mia shaking her head like, "Not me." Then Zoe screamed. We ran back to the living room. She was awake now, pointing at the mirror above the fireplace. "There was someone in there," she yelled. I saw him. At first, I thought she was just having a nightmare. But then I saw it too, movement, a shape like a shadow, but moving inside the mirror. And I swear to God, it smiled. We covered the mirror with a blanket. I was about to call our parents when Mia said the line that still gives me chills. We shouldn't have messed with that book. Let me back up. That afternoon, Mia had gone up into the attic looking for some old board games. While she was up there, she found this old, dusty book bound in leather, no title on the cover. Looked ancient. Of course. She brought it down and of course we opened it. Stupid, I know now. The pages were filled with symbols, handwritten notes, and something that looked like instructions for summoning something. We thought it was all fake, like part of a Halloween prop or something. We read one of the incantations aloud. Mia did, actually, just to see what would happen. Nothing happened, or so we thought. Now the mirror was showing faces that weren't ours. Now the basement door was open when none of us had been down there. Now we were hearing things we couldn't explain. That night, we locked every door, turned on every light, and stayed in the same room. But it didn't help. Around 3 a.m., the lights started flickering. Zoe started crying. Then the temperature dropped like someone opened a freezer door. That's when it stepped out of the mirror. I'm not making this up. This thing pulled itself out of the glass. Like the surface was water. It had the shape of a man, tall, muscular, but everything about it was wrong. Its skin looked like charred wood. Its eyes glowed like coals, and it had horns that twisted back along its skull. It just stood there, grinning. Mia screamed and threw a candle at it. It didn't flinch. It just pointed at Zoe. "Innocence," it growled. in this voice that rattled our bones. "The child comes with me." That's when the genie appeared. No, seriously, I didn't even know it was a genie at first. There was a swirl of black smoke in the corner of the room, and suddenly this tall, hooded figure was standing between us and the demon. "Not yet," it said. "You made a bargain with me first." Mia turned to me, eyes wide. I didn't think it would work. "What did you do?" I shouted. Apparently, Mia had tried another spell from the book, this one to grant her desire. She thought it was some poetic ritual or something, like a wish thing. Turns out it was a binding contract. The genie looked nothing like the ones in cartoons. His skin was blue-black and slick like oil, and his eyes had no pupils. His voice was calm, but it hit you like thunder. "You asked for freedom," he said. "Freedom always has a price." The demon snarled and said, "The child is mine." The genie shook his head. "You are late. She's mine now." I don't know what happened next exactly. The room twisted, walls bending, lights flashing, and then the two of them just vanished, like smoke being sucked into a vacuum. And we thought it was over. It wasn't. The next morning, the mirrors in the house were all broken, shattered from the inside. Every single one. We called our parents. They didn't believe a word of it, obviously. They just told us to quit watching scary movies. For a day or two, it was quiet. Then Zoe started acting strange. She would wake up in the middle of the night, whispering in a language none of us understood. She'd stare into corners, like she saw something the rest of us couldn't. Her eyes would go black for just a second, gone and then back again. And sometimes she'd smile in that same twisted way the demon had. We needed help. Real help. But who do you go to when your sister might be possessed by a demon and a genie? That's when the elf showed up. Yeah, I know, it sounds ridiculous, but we didn't summon him. We didn't even know he existed. We were in the backyard one night, too afraid to stay inside, and we saw this light coming through the trees. Bright, white-blue, almost like moonlight made solid. And then he stepped into the yard. He looked human, mostly, but there was something sharper about him. His ears, his jaw, his eyes, they all had this ancient weight to them. He was dressed in simple, dark clothes, like a traveler from a time long gone. "My name is Alarin," he said. "I'm here to fix what should never have been opened." Mia fell to her knees and started sobbing. Ilarin told us that the book Mia found wasn't just a book. It was a sealed gate, one that kept beings from between realms trapped away from ours. Demons, jinn, others that don't even have names. When Mia read those words aloud, she unlocked the gate. The genie came through first, followed by the demon. And once two make it through, more can follow, unless we closed it. But here's the thing, you can't just close the gate once it's open. You need to trap the ones who came through, bind them, banish them, or destroy them. And to do that, Ilarin said, we'd have to go where they were hiding, inside Zoe. We didn't want to risk her life. But Ilarin said waiting would be worse. The longer they stayed inside her, the more they'd rot her soul from the inside out. He led us back inside, drew a circle with salt, runes, and candles, put Zoe in the center, tied with a silver thread. Then he said a spell so old it made the walls creak. Zoe screamed, and then she changed. Her body twisted, levitated. Her mouth opened, and the demon's voice came out. "You will not take her. She is mine. Then the genie's voice followed. You broke the bargain. Her soul is owed. Ilarion didn't flinch. He whispered another spell, and then thrust his palm forward. Light burst from his hand, struck Zoe, and everything went still. Silence. Then Zoe dropped to the floor unconscious. The genie appeared again, half transparent now, flickering like a dying light. You cannot undo a pact, it said, but you can transfer it. Before we could ask what he meant, Mia stepped into the circle. She whispered, I'm sorry, looked at me and smiled, and vanished in a burst of smoke. The genie was gone. The demon screamed, but was being pulled back, dragged by chains made of fire and light. Zoe opened her eyes. Clear, human again, and Ilarion looked at me with this quiet sadness. She took the pact, he said. She'll live in his prison forever. Mia traded her soul for Zoe's. I asked Ilarion what he was. He just smiled sadly and said, a mistake I've spent centuries correcting. Then he vanished, just like that. We never saw him again. The book? It burned on its own the next day, without anyone touching it. Zoe's okay now. She doesn't remember most of it. Sometimes, though, she stares into mirrors a little too long. And sometimes, I think I see Mia there, watching us. Not angry, just there,